welcome back to the channel. So I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. Hope you had a nice Christmas and everything. So today's video is going to be about Trip Radar. So it's been rolled out for probably, it might be about 2 months nationwide now. So I thought I'd do a video on it and give my thoughts on Trip Radar. So to start off with, I think the first thing, what is annoying about Trip Radar is that it just pops up. You can't disable it, you know, it's there. If it pops up, you've got to press it to get rid of it and all this lot. And to be honest, it's basically, the way I see it, it's a bit like, you know, when you go into a supermarket or a shop, they have like a bargain bin or a bargain section where stuff's reduced. Some stuff's bargains, other stuff's total shite. So it's the same with Trip Radar essentially. What Uber do is the jobs which drivers won't accept, for instance, you know, the mileage is too much, or it's picking up from a supermarket or a retail park outside B&Q where the rider's more than likely going to have a load of shit with them to put in your in your car. Plasterboard, paint, you name it. So usually we just, when the job comes up, we can zoom in and we can see where it is, and you know, if you don't want to do those sorts of jobs, you can just cancel them. Sorry, not cancel them, but you know, decline. But the problem is with Trip Radar, it gives you the distances to drop off and pick up, postcodes, rider rating, and how much they're going to pay you. However, a job comes up, I can see the postcodes, but I can't see exactly where I'm picking up and dropping off. So, you know, it's a bit of a lottery. So, you know, if you accept it, you could find out you're going to Aldi or Asda or something. A job it's going to turn out not profitable, obviously, with waiting time for a rider to load up and unload at the other end. So I'll be honest, I have actually accepted a couple of Trip Radar jobs, but only because they were profitable, and at a certain time of day on a morning, if I see the postcodes, because I know that particular area quite well, I know it's going to be one of a few things. It's either going to be somebody going to the train stations, bus station, hospital, something like that. So under those circumstances, if they're paying good, then, you know, why not? Because, you know, that early morning, it's going to be somebody going to work or hospitals. However, middle of the day, you know, you got to be wary. You click on it and it could be picking up from, like, say, Asda, B&Q, something like that, or in a location where, you know, it's tricky, you can't stop. Whereas if it come through the normal route, you can have a look at it, think, nah, riders stood in a stupid place there, it's just bus stops and taxi ranks, I can't stop there, so, you know, I ain't picking them up. So, you know, you're going to end up with jobs like that during the day. So it's a bit of a lottery, really. And also some of the prices, what come on, you know, especially when it's quiet, you know, it is a good form of entertainment to look at the pittance, what Uber thinks they're going to pay you for doing 8 mile total journey, £3.84. Well, not you know, not for me. I don't turn my wheels for that sort of shitty money. You know, I'm essentially, I'm a cherry picker, so I will look for the best jobs, the jobs which are going to be the quickest to do, easy pick up, easy drop off, good money for the mileage. So, you know, I decline quite a lot of jobs. I think my acceptance rate is heading down south to something like 25%, but acceptance rate, you know, if you're a good cherry picker, it should be even lower than that, you know, 7%, 5%, something like that. And all that means is if you've got a low acceptance rate, it means you put a value on your time, your vehicle, you know, you're looking for jobs which, you know, which end of the day are going to make you the most profit, and declining the ones which may be difficult to do, you know, and are not paying enough for. So yeah, so you know, on a morning, sometimes I might take the odd Trip Radar job, but it has to be paying well. It has to be paying well over £1 a mile, £1.50, £2 or something like that, which is quite rare on Trip Radar, but you do get them. So you know, the bargain bin does have some bargains in it, but it does have a lot of shit what nobody else wants. So what I have noticed is sometimes a job will come up, ridiculous mileage for shitty money, and it'll say another driver has matched to this request, and you've got to think, you know, they're tapping on it that quick. You can't assess the postcodes that quick. So I imagine a lot of the time these drivers are just accepting them willy-nilly without really looking, end up cancelling them anyway. So you know, it's a bit pointless. But what I have noticed is some of the jobs that come out on Trip Radar, no drivers accept them. After they disappear from Trip Radar, it will then come back through the normal route. So then it gives you a chance to then zoom in, see where riders has to be picked up, exactly where they're being dropped off hospital or whatever. So yeah, so it's okay in small doses. That's my my view on it. But it would be better if we can deselect it, like we can with, you know, we can turn Uber X off and put just comfort on, or just turn comfort off, turn Uber Pet off. There's no reason really why they can't do that. They've got the technology there. It's dead simple. But I suspect they don't want to do that because, you know, they're essentially putting drivers up against each other. So they know if, you know, nobody's accepted a job, they send it out to 15, 20 drivers at the same time or something like that. You're always going to get one person potentially is going to take it for a low rate or whatever. But you know, obviously we're all self-employed. It's up to drivers, you know, how they operate. Everybody has set criteria, set amounts of money they need to earn. You know, myself, I'm quite lucky. I don't need to be out driving silly hours. I tend to limit it to about 7 hours a day or something like that, you know. You know, but some drivers, you know, they're out all day, 12 hours plus and what have you. I don't need to do that, luckily. So yeah, I just take my pick of the jobs. You know, I'm only going to do profitable jobs. I tend to stick to a small area this time of year. When the weather gets a bit better and there's events on, stuff like York races, stuff like that, then I'll venture further afield. But you know, it's better to stay in a smaller area, do more small trips than long trips. So yeah, so that's it. Trip Radar. You know, I think they should let us disable it, but you know, I can't see them doing that. You know, it's to try and tempt you at the end of the day. You know, you might have been sat with no job for half an hour and a shitty job comes up on Trip Radar. I'll still decline it. You know, it doesn't matter how long I've been sat there. If it's a shitty job, I won't accept it. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video, whatever that'll be about. I don't know yet, but yeah, keep on trucking, as they say.